So up here on the board, I wrote down our perfect squares 1 to 100. And by perfect squares, I mean 1 to 10. Okay. 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4. 3 squared is 9. Okay. Now, that means the square root of 4 is 2. Do you know why?
Because 2 times 2 is 4.
Okay.
Because 2 times 2 is 4.
So 2 squared is 4. The square root of 16 is 4. Because 4 squared is 16. Okay. The square root of 25. What's the square root of 100?
Did you make that?
What's my rule?
But that would
I don't care. I don't care.
Do you want me to pick it up out the trash and dunk it?
No, but I will not see you throw anything in here again. Square root of 144. Because 12 squared is 144. Okay. Now, you can do that all day.
What is
169 is 13 squared. 196 is 14 squared. But this is what we need to be able to do. We need to be able to simplify a square root. Now, whatever number is under the square root, if it is not a perfect square, then you need to figure out if there is a perfect square that can be factored out of that number. Okay? For example, 8. We know that 8 is the same thing as 4 times 2. Well, what's the square root of 4?
2?
So we could write this as 2 square root of 2. Yes. Okay, so let me talk through this again. Okay. Doesn't make sense. Square root of 8 is, so 8 is the same thing as 4 times 2. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the square root of 4.
I understand that. I just don't understand why. Like that is that. Like, wait, what is 2 outside of the box mean on its own? The garage.
Yeah.
What is laying down somewhere?
This means 2.
No, just like, okay, so like just pretend there was no 2 inside the garage. It was just out the garage. And the garage is that square.
Okay. Yes. So this means 2 times the square root of 2. Is that helping you?
Oh, yeah, that's kind of what. Oh, yeah, that all makes sense.
Call it.
No way.
Yes, Colin.
I don't get like 2 times the square root of 2.
It's not 8, it's the square root of 8.
Yeah, because what's 2 times 2? 4 times 2.
Just made it smaller now. Just like square root of 8 is.
So I want you to watch me, Colin. Do you agree that 8 is 4 times 2?
Yes.
Okay, so now I have the square root of 4 times the square root of 2.
Yes.
But the square root of 4 is 2. So I have 2 times the square root of 2.
Oh.
Okay, that was rough. Now, let me show you, what if you're struggling to think about, oh, my perfect squares, okay? It is also acceptable to say, okay, well, the square root of 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. So here is 2 squared. So that comes out of the garage. And 2 stays in the garage.
Wait, so after you simplify it, it goes out of the garage?
If you find a perfect square, we can take it out of the garage. Okay, Aiden? Not right now. Yes. Okay. Rick. So like, let me think of a number. That's not over here. Okay. So like, what about the square root of 150? Can you think of a perfect square that divides into 150?
It's 12.24744.
I don't need that.
Tyler, how do you do that?
10 and
Okay,
You have a calculator. You have a calculator.
25.
25 times what? Times 7?
That's me even number
Six.
Okay, so I know that 150 is 25 times 6.
Oh, no, 5.
So the square root of 25 is 5, so this is 5 square root 6.
Wait, what is
I cannot answer everybody's question at one time. If you have a question, please raise your hand. Drew?
So we always have to know like a square root of each side of the.
So let's say you don't. Let's say you're really struggling, okay? This is what you could do. You could say, okay, well, I know that 150 is 15 times 10. And I know that 15 is 3 times 5. And I know that 10 is 5 times 2. Oh, well, here's 5 squared. So 5 squared comes out and 3 times 2 stays underneath. You can do that, or you could do this. Pick your poison, okay? Ben?
So like on our tests, like we're like allowed to use calculators. So
Yeah.
Kind of like, what's the point of it? Like I don't want to make like that's kind of like putting it like. Just maybe in real life.
I'm gonna say the same thing. Like, why do we have to simplify?
Like yeah, like what's the?
So we're going to work with the Pythagorean theorem, but we're not gonna use a decimal. We're gonna use,
Oh, okay.
we're gonna simplify our radicals. We're gonna work with special right triangles where we're multiplying by the square root of 2, where we're dividing by the square root of 3. We need to be able to do that, okay? Yes.
So you said it was a garage, right? What kind of car?
It's the one.
It's a box.
A Jeep. Okay,
Can we get a G-Wagon?
so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you a number. And you're going to go to that number. Do you see how these are labeled? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Listen to my instructions, please. I am going to send you to one of these whiteboards, and you and your people will do these 5 examples on the whiteboard together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Which
8.
one was that? One.
We get up right now.
2,
What was that?
3, 4, 5, 6,
What were you? What were you? What were you? What were you?
1, 2, 3,
No,
go.
she's 2. So 3, 4. Ben's 3.
So take a rag and take a marker.
You give me 3. Who's 4? Is this the one game?
I'm a 4.
You have 2 minutes.
First we do 20.
Let's go, guys.
Okay.
I don't know where I go.
Big 5.
I'm
Okay.
Jack Fury, but I don't know who that is.
No, you're not.
There should not be 4 in any group.
Oh, Ben, you're a 4, right? You're I think you're a 4. Oh, you gave us numbers?
Yes.
Jonas, shut up.
I
No,
gave
just
you
tell me
numbers.
about it. Oh, I remember my number. My number was 4. I was 4.
Okay. All the 4 should be over there.
No, I haven't done these before.
Okay.
124.
Where's the problem? Dog was that hard. I'll do 48.
I don't think that 16 times 2 is 20.
I got it.
Bullshit, we're multiplying, not adding.
Yeah.
We're multiplying, not adding. Hey, we're doing this, we're not.
I also figured out how to do this.
Wait, okay, so
Okay, Siri. Run worrying about it. Stop looking at our phone. Is it 3 points in my word?
there are no perfect squares.
Oh, you got
If you're gonna do that, I don't understand like perfect squares that. Oh, so like.
Don't look at my work.
Why does why would I?
Alright, you're up. I do whatever your heart desires. Yo, that's my water bottle.
Okay, back to your seat.
I don't know what my group's at. Zach, have you taken Spanish?
All right, this is what I'm seeing.
No, she has.
Are you confused at my?
I said no. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that the square root of 20. 20 is the same thing as 4 times 5. So we get 2 radical 5. I am seeing that 75 is the same thing as 25 times 3. Since the square root of 25 is 5, we have 5 radical 3. You have a joke for us, Jake?
Oh, no, I haven't thought of it yet.
I got you. Okay, 48. I'm seeing lots of mixed reviews. Okay, so I see somebody, hence why I said mixed reviews. Okay, I see somebody who left it as 2 radical 12. This is not okay because 12 is not reduced if it's under the radical. Okay? Maybe people could stop talking and I could continue. So I know that 12 is 4 times 3. Well, the square root of 4 is 2. So now I have 2 times 2 times square root of 3. Now, some people just went straight to, okay, I know that 48 is 16 times 3. So we have 4 square root of 3. Now, maybe you're really struggling and you're like, okay, well, 48 I know is 6 times 8. Okay, well, 6 is 3 times 2 and 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. You see that? Well, here's 2 squared. Here's 2 squared. And 3 is left alone. See that? Yeah. Okay. So if they're trying to find perfect squares, yeah. I think that the most straightforward way to simplify these is to find the biggest perfect square that factors out of your number. But if you are struggling with that, then if you get it into its prime factorization, you can find the squares to pull out of the garage. Okay. Okay. The square root of 140. 100 times 1.4 is not the way to go, but I appreciate your efforts. I do not want decimals in my radical. They don't belong. Like, not a thing. No, it's definitely no. Okay. I'm seeing 2 times the square root of 35. Oh,
That's Aiden's backpack.
over here, I can't even see.
That's ours. Jonah's leaving because he feels sick.
Okay, so 140. What perfect square is it? 4 times what?
Sick.
Take 140 divided by 4, people.
35.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, it is.
35. 4 times 35 and then divided by the square root of 4.
How do you keep going on this?
4. The square root of 4.
Okay, so here's the deal. 35 is so freaking sick of this. We have 3 minutes left, and I haven't even taught you how to add and subtract them. So get comfortable. 35 is 7 times 5. Those are both prime numbers. You're done. Okay, you are done. There's nothing more we can take out of there. Okay, now 600 we know is 100 times 6. That one's nice. 10 squared is 6. Yes.
You can also do 4 and 150, so that it'd be 2, I think.
But then you'd have to go again because 150 is not simplified.
You do 25 times.
150 is divisible by 25. Jonah! I know, I have, yeah. You want your homework? Hey, now, when we add and subtract radicals, what under the radical has to be the same? Do you see how these both have square root of 7? So I can combine 11 and, 6 and 5 to be 11. This has radical 2. We can't combine it. That's my answer. Okay. Now, down here, these are not simplified radicals. 50, we can write as 25 times 2. Do you agree? What's the square root of 25? Okay, so this becomes 10 radical 2. 32, I know, is 16 times 2. No one's leaving yet. The square root of 16 is 4. So we have 12 radical 2. Now, don't pack up yet. We are not packing up yet. Do we have like radicals? Now we can add these two to be 22 square root of 2. You must simplify your radicals before you look for if you can add or subtract them together. Son of a gun. I said son of a gun. Here's the deal. Can you listen to me, please? This worksheet only printed on the front side and not the back. So there is a back side to this worksheet. However, you need to look on Google Classroom to get those problems because they didn't print. There, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, somebody text Donna.
I can't stay after school.
Don't talk to me about it. What?
I can't stay after school
Why?
because my parents aren't taking me home. So the person that's taking me doesn't have
Okay,
to
stay
wait.
through passing period then.
Alright. Can I stay through passing period too?
Sit down. Cohen, you want to stay through passing period or come after school? Have a seat. You aren't talking to anybody right now.
No matter what, no matter if it's